Do you know what one of the most important forms of self-care is? I'll give you a hint. It's literally the least demanding thing that you can do to ensure that your body has the resources to heal itself. If you guessed rest, then you win a gold star, my friend. Well done. With the state of the world being what it is these days, personally, my brain and body are screaming for the lowest key self care possible. So, today we're going to talk about what rest actually is, how it affects the brain and body, and we're going to explore creative ways that you can make your rest truly restorative. My name is Crystal McLean. This is Creative Self Care, and together we're exploring new ways towards wellness so we can effectively care for the mind, body, and mother loving soul and live healthy, empowered lives individually and collectively. If you appreciate what I'm doing here at CMC, you want to support my work and gain a more personal experience, consider joining my friends at Patreon for the same price as a fancy cup of coffee. To learn more about our community and how we're making a positive impact, visit crystalmcleancreative.com. All right, let's get to it. So the first thing we're going to do is determine the difference between rest and sleep. Sleep is the ultimate reset button for your nervous system. It's where all of the magic happens. Getting plenty of sleep, which is roughly between 7 and 10 hours, females typically needing more than their male counterparts due to all sorts of reasons, which I'll let you investigate and theorize on. But yeah, anyway, solid sleep should be everyone's goal. While you're sleeping, your brain is actually undergoing a complex process of restoration and reorganization. So, you know how your phone or your computer can get glitchy, spontaneously freezing, or even shutting down? That usually means it needs a systems update, right? Well, you are no different. Sleep is like updating your operating system so you can function better. It improves neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to learn and adapt to new things. It also sorts through memories, consolidating new information and discarding the junk you don't need. It rejuvenates your body, repairing tissues, boosting the immune system, discarding waste, and replenishing energy stores. And consequently, all of these benefits are going to improve your mood, increase your creativity, and sharpen your focus. Sleep is essential for your sanity and survival. But because we live in a society that glorifies hustle culture and prioritizes productivity, not to mention all of the distress and distractions it's throwing at us, by the time we go to bed, our brains and our bodies are so glitched out that we have a hard time getting the sleep we need. So let's go back to the phone and the computer for just a minute. You cannot update the systems if your electronics do not have at least 50% of their battery power. If it has less than 50%, it simply will not update and it's gonna keep on glitching out. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna plug in your electronics so they can get the extra juice they need so they can perform the download. Now, the purpose of rest is to make sure that you've got at least 50% of your battery so your brain can perform your system's update. Rest is metaphorically plugging yourself into the things that restore your energy so your body can do the job it's designed to do. It's also going to restore some of the fucks you give in life, helping you to manage stress and maybe even allow you to enjoy yourself, which would be great. All right, let's talk about how we're going to rest our weary ass selves. So if you've been here at CMC for a while, or if you've been taking my free creative self-care masterclass, then you know the reason we're getting creative with our self-care is so that we can effectively align our actions with our true needs. Getting creative with your rest doesn't mean that you're simply kicking up your heels and binge watching your favorite shows. Not that there's anything wrong with that. What it does mean is that you're getting curious about where and how you need to be replenished, then finding delightful ways of doing so. So if you are a Patreon member and you support the work that I'm doing here, you'll be receiving a digital guide that includes a list of the restful activities we're about to discuss, as well as some other goodies that are going to help you manage your rest and relaxation. If you're not a member, go grab a pen and some paper and get ready to take a few notes. Okay, so rest isn't always synonymous with the absence of activity. In fact, a lot of times it's either a proactive process or an act of mindfulness. But no matter what it is, the purpose of rest is to restore, replenish, or recharge your mind, body, and soul. Let's start with the body. Number 1, physical rest. Your body is a machine that needs to power down so it can recharge. Yes, absolutely. So activities like napping on the couch or swinging in a hammock are going to be deliciously relaxing and restorative. But sometimes what we actually need is a rest from inactivity and to move in a meaningful way. As contradictory as it may sound, moving your body can be an act of rest. I'm not talking about high intensity interval training here. I'm talking about going for a peaceful walk, doing some slow stretches or restorative yoga, or grooving to your favorite slow jams. Moving your body in soothing and pleasurable ways is not only going to potentially relax muscle tension, but it's also going to strengthen neurological synapses, increase endorphins, and prime your brain for better sleep. Number 2, mental rest. Your brain is always working to process information, solve problems, and make decisions, even while you seem to be absent-mindedly scrolling on your phone. In fact, the stimulation we get from all of our sparkly electronics is quite taxing on the nervous system. So it's super important that you give your brain a break from all of the extra input and processing and stimulation so it has the capacity for the system's update. To make sure there's enough room for the download, you can practice simple acts of mindfulness like meditation, doodling, or any other activity that lets your mind wander. You could even just go watch the clouds for a little while. It's honestly that simple. Number 3, emotional rest. According to the CDC, more than 30% of US adults are not getting enough sleep. And the American Academy of Sleep Medicine reports that 90% of those folks are losing sleep because worry is keeping them up at night. Emotional rest could be the solution to this problem. Now, you might believe that resting your emotional self means that you are taking a break from your feelings. I hate to be the one to tell you this, but the opposite is actually true. Emotional rest means taking a break from keeping your feelings on lockdown. Americans are really good at bottling up their emotions for fear of being perceived as weak or needy, moody, or bitchy. This is exhausting and no good for our brains. Being honest about your feelings and seeking support and stepping away from emotionally draining situations is going to help you maintain emotional balance, avoid burnout, and process your feelings, which is probably going to help you get a better night's sleep. Number 4, social rest. Social rest is when you take a break from energy vampires and social interactions that drain your life force. Instead, opt for some time with supportive or inspiring people. Or here's a concept: try a little solitude. Learning how to be alone is a pretty important life skill, and it's good for our brains because it allows us the time and space to process our emotions and discover who we truly are and what we really need without the influence or expectations of others. And finally, number 5, spiritual rest. Spiritual rest is when you take a break from the fucking grind and all of the empty, vapid bullshit in the world and replace it with something with a little more substance and satiates your soul gremlin. This could be spending time in nature, gazing up at the stars, or dabbling in the arts, or being of service to your community. You could pray, meditate, or even contemplate the marvel that in an infinite universe that spans beyond comprehension, you are here. That's pretty fucking wild. All right, my friend. If you are feeling restless and exhausted and you decide to try some of these relaxing activities, I want you to hear me loud and clear. Your brain has been conditioned to keep you in a state of unrest. Reprogramming your brain is going to take some time, so be patient, persistent, and trust the power of your brain's plasticity. It is designed to learn and adapt to new things. All right, if you are a Patreon member, don't forget to access today's bonus content. And if you're not a member but want the goodies and want to support my work, you can join my friends over at Patreon for just a few bucks a month. I love you, I appreciate you, and I'm really proud of you for caring about your rest and relaxation. You need it, you deserve it, and you are capable of getting it. All right, I'll see you soon. Prioritize is productive. Logical synapses.